Greetings and happy Halloween. Today's video is inspired by another YouTuber's video that I saw in which she ranked all of her past Halloween costumes. I really enjoyed watching it, so I thought I would enjoy putting together my own and maybe somebody out there will enjoy watching it. I am not a costume aficionado by any means, although I think I will be one day. A few notes before we get started. It was kind of hard deciding what looks to include in this video because I do a lot of like makeup looks, experimental makeup looks, and I do a lot of like photo recreations that I didn't think really classified as a costume, so I didn't include them here. But there are some that were like in that gray area on that borderline, so I did include some of those in here. So yeah, these are things that I would either consider costumes or costume makeup. This is also not an exhaustive list because my middle school and high school years and childhood are mostly hard copy photos, and I didn't go through hard copies, I just went through digital photos. And with all that out of the way, let's take a look at my first costume. First, this is me as an angel. Aren't I darling, except for that bowl cut? I think this was for like a church play or whatever, but it's still a costume, right? Next, this is on Halloween, but don't let this fit fool you. These are pajamas, but I guess my mom thought they would pass as a costume and she painted my face. Now, despite the fact I wore pajamas for trick-or-treating, I think I still pulled it off. This is probably one of my most iconic costumes I have ever worn. It's kind of an embarrassing disaster, but it's also kind of hilarious. Okay, let me break this down for you. I'm the one on the left, and I don't know if you can tell who I am. Who do you think I am? Well, I am Princess Jasmine from Aladdin. Let's look into this. Now, I am wearing black pantyhose on my head to simulate long dark hair because you see, I still had a bowl cut. It was a favorite pastime of mine to wear pantyhose on my head and pretend that I had long hair because I was never allowed to have long hair. Now you also see that my mom put some makeup on my face there. But let's get to the real important part here, and that is I'm wearing a red bra. This is a bra, but so as to keep my modesty, I am wearing it atop a white long sleeve turtleneck. Now let's move downwards, and these are red sweatpants. You know, the kind that have the elastic around the ankle? That's to simulate the shape of Jasmine's pants, those like flowy, like genie pants. I don't know what you call them. And finally, just like Jasmine wore, I have white tennis shoes. And I remember wearing this costume to school, and there were probably about 7 other Jasmines in my class. So who do you think had the best Jasmine? I'll give you a hint, it was not me. Oh, but this one though. This is me as Pippi Longstocking. Now, I didn't appreciate it at the time, but looking back, like, this was a good costume. So this is like a thrifted dress, and my mom sewed some like scraps of fabric on it. And then my leggings, it was a pair of red pantyhose and green pantyhose, and my mom like cut one leg off of each. So I like slipped them on, so I had one leg and one red leg and one green leg. And then I had these like pointy brown boots that were perfect. And my mom drew freckles on my face, and then this hair, there's a coat hanger, like doing this, and mom putting it through my braids was so painful. I cried every time I dressed up like that, but that was a good costume. And finally, I think this was for my cousin's birthday, which was like sock hop themed. It's really sad. I think my mom did make the skirt, which was pretty cool, but then I have it paired with like this like 90s, probably like faded glory jeans tee. And then I've got these socks that are periwinkle blue with lace around, and then I've got these like chunky 90s boots with them. It's just really a disaster, but I'm happy and that's what counts. And that's all I've got from childhood. Now, if I ever do go through old photos and find more, like maybe I'll continue this series. Editing Katie here. I remembered a story that I wanted to tell real quick from 3rd grade. 3rd grade. We were reading Charlotte's Web, and when we were done, we were gonna have a dress-up day where everybody dressed up like a character from Charlotte's Web. And so my mom dressed me up like Templeton the Rat. And I got all ready and I went to school, and I think I was late because we spent too much time dressing me up like Templeton the Rat. So I was late, so my mom actually walked me into the class. It was a Thursday. And I walked into class and I realized that nobody else was dressed up. And it's because dress-up day was on Friday, not Thursday. And that's my story of dressing up like Templeton the Rat. I cried. So let's move on. From junior high, I only have one photo. This is me trick-or-treating in grade 8. And this was my first cosplay. I didn't know cosplay was a thing, but I was playing Final Fantasy VIII, and I was like, I could be Quistis. Like, I could do my hair like that. And I got these, like, glasses that I punched the glass out of. And then we got this set from Walmart. And I think I cut the sleeves off. I drew that, like, zipper down the front. And then on my arms, I have socks, black socks that I, like, made into gloves. And then I have this, like, terrible red belt that I wore around my waist. But, like, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty cool. And I think this could be considered my first cosplay. I would like to redeem my 8th grade self and one day cosplay Quistis. I've got nothing to show you from high school. I don't really know what I was doing. So now we are in college. This photo here is from 2006. I wanted to be a black metal girl, so I did my best attempt at corpse paint and just put on all the Hot Topic jewelry that I had in my arsenal. And I just, wore all black, and then the flip phone, of course. That was my favorite phone. Oh my gosh. Okay, and in college for 2 years, for 2 Halloweens, I worked at a haunted house. It was the best time ever. We didn't take a lot of pictures because it was before smartphones and stuff, so we don't have a ton of pictures, but here's me wearing like a gown with a slit throat. My main role was being a dead bride, so this is one of my dead bride looks. We would do something a little different every night with the makeup and whatnot. I was also kind of this like, we had this like gingerbread man kind of room, and I was just this little like, I don't know, fairy tale girl. That was a look. I liked that. This is on Halloween, my freshman year, and I just wanted to go all out and dress how I wish that I would dress every day, with what I had, of course. These are me and my girls. I worked with all of these girls at the haunted house, but this is us recreating the craft. I will forever love this picture. Okay, and in college is when I first started going to cons. Sometimes I would wear a cosplay, but then sometimes I would just like dress cute. So here I am just doing the whole like mall goth, schoolgirl kind of thing. And then here's my Yuna cosplay, and I bought this off eBay in about 2006. It was exquisitely done. Here's another schoolgirl look. It was always a hit at these events. And now we are in Halloween. I think this is Halloween 2009. And I was Little Bo Peep or something. I wanted to do the hot girl Halloween, like just be a normal girl. And so here I am showing some leg. And that's all I've got from college, Honestly, I haven't lived my best costume life until later in life. So early adulthood is what I call like 2010 and later. So like when I got married and on. So early adulthood in the early 2010s, I wasn't dressing up a lot, and when I was just being extra goth. But this is a look that I put together to attend the Ren Fair. So I'm wearing this vintage wedding dress, and then I made this flower crown just because they're like no rules as long as you look whimsical, right? So that one was really fun to wear. Now we are here in 2017. There is a chance that 2017, 2018 and 2019 might get swapped around a little bit. It's all a blur. Okay, so this is like one of the first costumes that I made, I think. So this is a Scarecrow costume that I made. I didn't take enough pictures of it, but y'all, I love scarecrows. Oh my gosh. So I got these overalls, I got this flannel, I got the hat, and I got the like burlap, all from the thrift store. Painted them all with blood, and then I got this raffia. Is that what this straw stuff is called? And just went to town and put blood all over everything. It was actually red acrylic paint. But I think it's super cute, and I keep looking for this costume. I can't find it. I think I got rid of it, and if I did, I would be so sad. Okay, next is when I first started getting into Living Dead doll inspired makeup looks. So I think this is Cuddles the Clown. I just felt so empowered. It was so much fun just to transform into someone else. This was an Alice in Wonderland kind of inspired Living Dead doll. And this was the first Living Dead doll makeup look I ever did. This is Walpurgis. And I had the best time doing this that like I couldn't even sleep. I couldn't sleep because I kept thinking of what I did and how wonderful it was. Okay, so that's 2017. Now we're going to move on to 2018. This was a great year for costumes. This is when I decided to go all out for the Living Dead Dolls costume contest. I think I did 9 entries. I also went to the thrift store to buy a bunch of clothes to make it a full ensemble, and I spent $100 at the thrift store, which is a ton of money. First is Bloody Mary. I felt like the most beautiful girl in the world. Who is she? Next is Angus Resurrection variant. I can't believe how awesomely this turned out, and it was a kind of a gender fluid version, a gender fluid take on this doll, and still one of the favorite looks I've ever done. This was Allison Crux. This is my first time messing with face paint. I didn't even know it was water activated at the time, so it actually has a pretty splotchy application. Unfortunately, I didn't try to paint my hands and arms, and I wish that I had. Okay, next, this was Ava, also Living Dead doll. The blood, I made the blood at home. I didn't have even any like costume blood at the time, so I think I did like food coloring mixed with something. I don't remember what I did, but it wasn't great, so it looks very pink. But I think the look is really cool. It's very doll-like. I had shaved my eyebrows for the first time and was really having fun with that. Next is Patience Zero. I love this one. She's a zombie. I got that scrub top, put fake blood all over it, and the makeup came out really great. I mean, I'm satisfied. Next is Hush. She was super fun to do too. I'm proud of her to this day. Who was this? I forget what this doll's name is. Not my best look ever, but, you know, I still claim it. Next is Cuddles the Clown. I love this. This is like still one of my favorite little sets of photos I ever have taken. I just loved being this like psycho smiling clown with a machete. It was super fun. This is what I wore on Halloween night 2 years ago and kind of like scared the children. Grace of the Grave. I loved this look. I loved this outfit. I loved the photos I took, but I wish I would have added some texture to the wounds on her face because it was just very flat and didn't look very believable. Oh, the Unwilling Donor. I went heavy with the white face paint. Too heavy. It was very splotchy. This wasn't my best work, but it happened. 2019, just last year, before any of us knew what was going to happen to us. Bride of Valentine. She was super fun. Wished I didn't have eyebrows for this. And I put dry shampoo to kind of add that streak. But I couldn't get it to stick all the way down. This is without contacts because I've never done contacts in my eye, but colored contacts would have really been like the icing on the cake. Next is Debra Ant. I loved this look. I don't think it looks like the doll. It looks like something all its own. I had a terrible day. I had a terrible time doing this makeup and a terrible time shooting this look. But it's a good look. I also want to mention that I made that crown completely by myself. Ultimately, I think it's a good look. It doesn't look like what I wanted it to look like, but I think it's a good look. Next, Elisa Day. I love this one. Oh, it's like, it was so fitting for me. I felt like I could really become her and it was believable. I loved how this turned out. This was a Kill Baby look, and I forgot to do a real shoot because I was actually filming a video with Brie, which you can still find way back in history. Lamenta. She was very easy, very simple and fun. Who is this? Is this another Cuddles? I can't remember who this is. But I love this one. Bathory. She's another one that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but it came out good. And I wish I had taken it to the next level and put the blood down the neck. It would have made more sense. I forgot who I'm supposed to be. This is still all Living Dead dolls. Love this look. Really suited me. I think this was another one that really suited me. Mishka. That was some good paint application. Good job, me. I didn't do a formal shoot, but I did put on the full outfit that looks just like her outfit. Vanity. She's not the cutest Living Dead doll or anything like that, but I think I recreated her quite well, complete with the gauze around my head. Dawn. She also didn't come out looking like I thought, but I think she came out really good. This is my first time trying to like create texture on the face. I think it was a bunch of toilet paper and lash glue, but I also had to coat on foundation because it was not matching my skin, and it was kind of a mess, but I really ultimately liked the outcome. Death. That's pretty straightforward, and I think it turned out quite well. Beltane. I sought out this dress. I thrifted it off Poshmark. This was like the first thing I did after I shaved off my eyebrows. And then I went to a nearby park and shot myself. I was all alone in costume. It was probably late September, early October. And I did all this by myself, which is pretty awkward, but I was just like, screw it. So I did it. And it's another thing that didn't turn out like I thought it was going to. It was really windy. The lighting was weird, and it wasn't easy, and I had to spend a lot of time out there, and I was sweating buckets. It was so hot. And I'm not really happy with how I did my lips. Oh, and another thing I did, I even got red hair color and like sprayed red, a red streak in my hair and everything. I had curled my hair. It fell down really quick because it's so humid here. It's something that I'm really proud of for taking the initiative to go do and devote like almost a whole day to it, but it didn't come out as great as I thought it would. Next, I forgot the name of this doll, but I think it's a Wraith. A Wraith. It was a fun look. This, I loved this one. It was a trick-or-treater who had candy corn teeth. I made those teeth. I made them. Okay, like I made all of this. Next, this is Iris. Again, my first time trying to mess around with like putting texture on the face. This too is lash glue and toilet paper, I think. Not really crazy about that look. I don't think I ever was. Finishing Hitchhiker. This one was a total failure. It was another really bad day. Not a fun shoot. Not a fun look. Didn't come out like I wanted it to. You can see it on my face. I'm not pleased. And then this was another one, like, I just didn't like it. I just didn't think it came out good. Finally, we're here in 2020. This is a look I did just the other day. This is inspired by Eric from Beltane, just like his take on corpse paint. This didn't come out as scary as I thought it would. And also I left my camera at work that day, so I couldn't take real photos. So I had to take photos with my phone, and I was just like bummed, and I was like, ugh. This, I made a whole video on it, but this is my first cosplay. Well, you know, besides the Quistis that you saw. This is like the first cosplay that I sewed. I made this. And since this picture, I have gotten a wig. So now I have a full, real cosplay. Next, I wanted to include this because, like, I put on the whole outfit, okay? I did the makeup and the outfit. This is Cookie from the movie Spun. So this is me being a meth addict from a really good drug movie. That was one of the many like recreation shots that I took during quarantine, like when we were like locked down. That was one of the many, but that's one where I feel like you could call that a costume or a cosplay. Next, this is I don't know how to say her name. This is another Living Dead doll look, and this is me taking special effects makeup, DIY special effects makeup, to the next level. This is when I have finally found a good method for putting texture on the face, like wounds on the face or whatever. I didn't put on the wig very good, but other than that, I'm really pleased with this look. It's beautiful. Here's another recreation shot that I took during lockdown. This is inspired by the film Valerie and Her Week of Wonders, and this is based off the character Hedvika. And she's a bride, so I put on the wedding gown, I put on the veil, and I did my makeup, and I made a set to recreate a scene from that movie. And even though you can't really see like the costume, I'm really proud, and I wanted to put it in there. Next, this might be the easiest costume I've ever done, but this is a pink Wednesday Addams. I thought, I have all the tools to be a pink Wednesday, and since the color of the outfit has changed, maybe it's okay that my hair isn't black, and I'll just be like a color variation Wednesday. Next, I'm getting my money's worth out of this $10 wedding dress, all right? This is me being La Llorona. La Llorona. Am I saying that right? Wow, and that is it. I love costumes. I love becoming someone else. I love taking on someone else's character. And I like just like putting everything you've done together in one gallery and just looking at all of it. So I hope this was fun to watch. I have big dreams of, you know, creating more elaborate costumes and sewing and thrifting, and just my inspiration's always flowing. So happy Halloween. Let me know like what your favorite costume is or whatever, and just leave some Halloween cheer in the comments. That concludes this video. See you next time. Bye.